All right, welcome back to business. Today we are tackling the issue of the borderline finance bill 2024 and matters touching on the Bodaboda sector. And in studio, I have the chair of Bodaboda Association of Kenya, Kevin Mubadi, speaking to us and offering clarification on key issues in the sector. Thank you, Kevin, for making time. Now, there is the whole issue of local assembling of Bodaboda. It seems if we do things locally, the idea is to lower the cost, all right, to make things affordable for the Bodaboda sector. Since we do local assembling, first of all, do you think as a sector we have the capacity to locally manufacture Bodabodas from scratch within the country?
Yes, we have the capacity because the workforce is there, the manpower is there, but maybe the investment part of it. And I think what makes investors shy away the maybe taxes regime and the entry into the market. But if we could open up our borders and maybe give, for example, free tax regime for maybe 5 years. We allow the manufacturers to come set up factories, start running. We can take away the taxes, but get from the income tax that our member, the payee, that the employees who work there will be paying. So the government can give that amnesty for the companies to set up that, because it is very expensive to set up a manufacturing company here. We have the raw materials are available, you have the iron, you have everything here. But I think companies shy away from coming to Kenya to invest. That's why we always get things from China and they come as knockdown kits. Then our work is just to tighten the nuts, then the motorcycle is on the road. So I don't think even if that is assembling, because everything has been done. It is just you putting them together and throwing it out. That one does not bring much employment because all the smaller particles, where they are manufactured, that is where the job is. Okay. But here, one person can assemble like 10 bikes or 20 bikes a day by the help of some machines also. So there's no much employment in that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And now the whole automotive and sector is moving to green.
Yes.
We're talking about e-mobility. And I've seen, because I use Bodabodas, I've seen these days, as you call them, the shimos. You can always find 1 or 2 electric bikes.
Yes.
And it's very fascinating to me, because I had the discussion. I talked to these guys. I mean, why aren't you buying the electric one? The issue of cost comes up. A majority of the Bodaboda guys have taken the Bodabodas on credit, so they're making me either daily or weekly payments.
Yes.
But for starters, where are we in terms of adopting electric motorbikes in the Bodaboda sector?
In the Bodaboda sector, we still have some challenges. Number one is the cost. The bikes are expensive. Number two, as in the whole country, we have some areas where this motorcycle cannot operate because their power capacity or their strength cannot, maybe in Nyeri where we have some hills and all those electric motorcycles cannot operate there because they can't go uphill. They just need some flat surfaces. When you look at the cost, it is very expensive because of the battery. So it makes it costly for the rider to acquire one. When you look at in areas of accessibility, each and every electric motorcycle provider is hiding his own charging system. It's not like this other motorcycle, I can go to any petrol station and fuel. I can send someone and go and bring me fuel in jerrycan and I can fuel and continue with my journey. But these guys, everybody has his own charging system. And yet they don't have the capacity to roll it out immediately in other parts of the country or even other parts of the towns that they are operating in. So due to the lack of capacity to deploy the charging stations, the way fuel stations are everywhere, it makes it difficult for even those riders who wish to acquire one, comparing the distance where he lives or where he operates from and where the charging system is, it becomes difficult for them.
Okay.
But we appreciate and we want to appreciate our president because he's really pushing this. I remember we were with him in Mombasa when we were launching the e-mobility as he promised 1st of September last year. We did that, and he's really championing the e-mobility. And we as a sector, as an association, we are also supporting and championing the e-mobility in the country. One, because once you acquire the motorbike, the maintenance cost is low. And number two, you look at least the savings that you'll get from, when you look at the cost of fuel and the cost of charging, it's a little, almost 60% or 40% cheaper than using fuel. When you look at the pollution, we are told that motorcycles pollute more. Imagine you have 2 million all emitting those gases.
Yes.
So they pollute more. And when we look at now the e-bikes, they don't pollute the environment. So we are supporting the e-mobility in the country. One, because it will make our people to save more money and at least earn an extra income compared to the other one. Two, it's because of the environment, which our president is very passionate about, and you have seen what we have gone through due to climate change. It was devastating. And you see when such calamities happen, then our people cannot move. And you see the challenge with the Bodaboda is that if you are not operating even 1 hour, there's no income that is coming to you. Maybe we have some other people, they go to the office. If you don't go to the office, your salary will still come. If you are in something in Mombasa and your office is Nairobi, your salary will still come. But for the Bodaboda rider, if you are not riding, if you are just seated somewhere, that means there's nothing you are earning. So we must move from one point to another carrying people to enable us earn a living. So when such calamities come, it means we will be parking our bikes and people are not moving, then we are not earning. So it is our duty to make sure that how can we maintain our environment to make it safer for everyone.
Definitely. And, you know, you've talked about the cost of these motorcycles, the electric ones. And, I mean, the battery component is a huge one.
Yes.
If I'm looking correctly at this finance bill and the proposition, initially there was the issue of VAT charges on supply of solar and lithium-ion batteries.
Yes.
Those are the batteries that you utilize, even for these electric Bodabodas, Initially, it was zero rated.
Yes.
But now the finance bill is proposing
it to be added.
To stand at 16%.
That is a disaster to us. And I remember last year, which we presented our views during the last year finance bill, and they scrapped those things, the VAT. Even the president himself said that on all matters EV, he'll try to zero rate everything to make it cheaper so that people can afford it.
Yes.
But now when this finance bill comes with the VAT again and other taxes on it, they'll make it even more expensive than it is right now.
All right. And as we finish up, I know there are quite a myriad of issues that you're supposed to touch on, but slightly let us touch on the issue of credit.
Yes.
Because we speak about majority, and I don't know what percentage of the sector. Like, do they own their motorbikes vis-a-vis those that maybe are employed by somebody else, or they've taken their motorbikes on credit? Do you have that statistics?
Yes, we do, because when you look at this sector, almost 90% of all the bikes you see on the road, either they have been financed, either they are on finance, or they have just finished financing. So nobody, and I have told you that with this economy we are in, there's no young people or young person who can afford 200, 170,000 cash to buy a motorcycle. No one. It is impossible. So what happens that the creditors are giving us this opportunity, and I think we are the luckiest people in our generation, because when someone comes and tells you that, okay, no security, just come pick a motorcycle, go and work, and pay us. I think that is the best thing that ever happened to the people of Kenya. And it has seen the sector grow rapidly because of the easy access of the motorcycles. Because even if you don't have money, you just have your deposit, 10,000, 20,000, you go get a motorcycle worthy 180 almost. Others go for the fancy one that costs even 250,000. So the creditors have given us an opportunity to be self-employed. And what you are requesting from the government and the finance committees, both Senate and Parliament, they should at least give these people an humble environment. They should create policies that will protect them, because when you look at what they do, they took a very big risk. In 90%, you can imagine where will those people be right now in Kenya if they had no jobs. So they came and put a balance equation where these young people could access the loans, could pay back their loans, and own the motorcycles.
Yes.
So when you look at, maybe 20% are the only people who own their own, but the rest 90% comes from the creditors. And they have been doing a very, very good job, and we commend them for that, the work they have been done for the young people of Kenya.
Definitely.
Yeah. Because I saw one company spend almost 60 billion investing in the motorcycle sector. And the banks, remember, the banks shunned away from us. When you go to the bank, you want to take a loan, they can't give you. They look at your statement, you don't have a bank account, you don't have what. So
no cash flow.
Record, bring 6 months, you go with the 6 months, say, no, this one is not enough, bring security. And our people, this is someone who's starting his life, he's just trying to put life together, doesn't have that money.
Definitely, and I think it's one of those discussions that maybe in the subsequent shows we can discuss on how to better service, especially on credit. The traditional way of financing and models seems to be not working in the environment. So how do we create products that fit specific needs? And I think it's a subject that we can go into later on. But thank you very much, Kevin, for making time today to speak to business today on this particular issue.
Can we talk a little about issues on security? Because it affects us greatly.
And in less than 30 seconds.
In less than that. So on security matters also, when you look at the creditors and the security, we found that most of the motorcycles are being stolen. And being stolen means that thieves are there, they are stealing this thing. So what I want to do is, I just want to appreciate the PS Interior, Bwana Raymond Omolo, who's the PS for internal security. He has been really supportive, and there's something we are working on to ensure that we register all the motorcycles in the country. And all the criminals that you have been seeing on a motorcycle, they'll be weeded out very soon. And all those issues that motorcycles are being stolen from one area to another area, and they continue operating, to not be there. So for the PS, we want to appreciate for at least holding the Bodaboda sector on matter security, because it affects the creditors. When they give their loans, the motorcycle is stolen. So it becomes difficult for them even to recoup their money from the because criminal has gone with it. So we need government support and partner support to achieve this.
Definitely. Thank you very much. As I've told you, some of these discussions, it can be handled in 30 seconds. I think today we decided to measure mainly on this finance issue, but in subsequent discussions we will tackle some of these emerging issues: security, regulation of the sector, credit of the sector. There's so much to talk about the Bodaboda sector. But thank you very much. Kevin Mubadi is the chair of Bodaboda Association of Kenya, and that is the insights in regards to the Finance Bill 2024, how it impacts the business and what